Good morning, guys. I've been up for maybe a couple hours, and since I've been working on waking up, I thought I would come on here and finally get around to the LA Colors haul that I picked up from Dollar Tree a few days ago. I think I picked them up like Friday, but I've just had so much going on this weekend in preparation for Scarborough Renaissance Festival that I went to yesterday, which is where I got my henna. If you're wondering why it looks so shiny, it's because I've got a thin layer of olive oil on top, because that will actually help it last longer. Yesterday it was really super orange. Today it's slightly darker. It's going to get darker still over the next couple days, and then it should last me about 2 weeks. But hopefully if I use this oil, it'll last a little bit longer, because they say if you use a natural oil, it will actually extend the life of it. So I'm hoping this will last me about 3 to 4 weeks. But yesterday at Scarborough, I just wanted to give a quick recap. It was a lot of fun. I went last year. I think it's going to be our annual tradition for my boyfriend's birthday to go to Scarborough, because his birthday is May 26th, and every year their last day of operations is Memorial Day. So their last day of operations this year will be next Monday, the 25th. Will you stop? Sorry. But just to give you an idea, I actually wore a belly dance costume. I've still got it in the washer. I had to wash it severely when I got home. And I wore my tennis shoes with it, because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of walking around, and I knew more than likely it was going to be muddy. It was. Let me show you my tennis shoes after yesterday. I'll be throwing these in the washer here in a little bit. I mean, look at this. Muddy as hell. Excuse me. Anyway, moving on to the purpose of this video. When I hit Dollar Tree, I picked up their LA Colors, a lot of it. They had 3 lipstick lip gloss combinations. They had 6 different colors of lip gloss. I thought it was 7, but I came to realize I picked up an extra of one of the colors, so I'll probably stash it for a future giveaway. And they also had little miniature eyeshadow palettes that are 6 colors each. But for starting off, I'll go into the lipstick lip gloss duos. This one is in the shade Natural. It's just got a basic clear gloss and a pinkish nude lipstick. Try to even out that swatch where I did it close to my knuckles. Pretty sure I don't need to sample a clear gloss, but it's just a really pretty shade. Then the next one was Twinkle, which has kind of like this shimmery beige gloss, and then this slightly salmon pink lipstick. It actually goes on a lot more pink than it looks in the tube. Or at least it does on my camera. And then the gloss is just a very sheer kind of nude color, which I'll put a little swatch up above it. You can, barely see it. It's just, it blends in with my skin tone. And then the last one was Charmed, which I was really looking forward to. It's kind of a muted red, even though it looks more like a vibrant red on my camera. It's almost like a cranberry color. You can see it right here. And the gloss that came with it is what I really flipped over. Put it up above it. It's a really pretty maroon color. And it's got a lot of sparkle to it. So I thought those were pretty neat. And yesterday you would have laughed your butt off at me trying to wash my face off with one of these wipes after I got home, because I was scared to death to have it touch my henna and accidentally remove it. But finally all the dried paste came off this morning. And the glosses by themselves, let's see. This one is called Dreamy Pink. It's slightly mauve pink, so it's a rather cool toned pink. It's very sheer, but it's actually really, really pretty. And I've got to double up on it, just so I can get an even layer on the back of my hand. You can see it right down here. It's got a lot of sparkle. Pardon me. There, maybe that'll help. And this is in the color Happiness. This is the one that I accidentally got a second one of. So I have it set aside, still in the packaging, for a future giveaway. This one is kind of a peachy color. It's very sheer. Can't really see much of a color to it, but I will put it up above Dreamy Pink. I'm going through doing the shimmery ones first. You can just barely see that peachy one right there. But again, lots of sparkle. And I've got one glitter gloss that I'm going to save until last because it is so amazing. And this is just a cream gloss. And this one is called Paradise Pink. It's a very cool tone pink. It's slightly more reddish than it looks on my camera, but only slightly. These actually have a decent amount of pigment. They're not quite a liquid lipstick, but you can definitely see the color. It's that one on the top. Then we have Coral Crush, which of course is a nice corally shade. It looks super orange, but again, it goes on a good bit more sheer, but the pigmentation is still decent. So it's pretty and bold, but it's not, you know, insane and over the top. This next one is Fruit Punch. Just a really pretty kind of bright berry pink. Doesn't look like any fruit punch I've seen. Fruit punch I've seen is all bright red. But you can see it right up here on the top. Those three are just creams, while these bottom two are shimmery. And then lastly, this one is called Pink. Had it been me, I would have called it something like Watermelon Spark or something. Because this sucker is just amazing. I am completely obsessed with this one. The color is very subdued, but it looks very vibrant in the tube, but it's very jelly-ish. So the pigment isn't over the top, but you can see it right here. All of that glitter. Absolutely love it. Tell me that is not just completely insane. I love it. Ooh, excuse me. Moving on to eyeshadows. The first set that I have is called Haute. And again, these are just little 6-shade mini palettes. This one's very neutral. Come in and swatch this first row. That ivory barely shows up, so it would be kind of like a good little brow highlight. Over here is the ivory, which you can't even see it. Then there's the middle shade and the shade on the right. Very subtle coloring for those three. Actually, before I do that, clean off my fingers and swatch the bottom row. But that center one is very similar to the shade Marzipan from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I've been finding a lot of colors that are very similar to Marzipan lately. And now the bottom three, which are a lot more pigmented. As you can tell there, they have a lot more pigment. And this one, which is kind of like a little off black with a slight brown undertone, it actually has a lot of pink shimmer. It's not over the top, but it's like microfine, which gives it a little bit of depth and dimension, if you ask me. Next, we have Night Out, and it is spelled N-I-T-E, not N-I-G-H-T. This one has like a couple neutral shades. This one up here, which is kind of an antique bronze. Then you've got the grays and the pinks. This is kind of like an off black. It's not straight black. It's got a slight brown hint to it. First, we'll swatch the top row, which that light pink you can barely see. The middle pink is just a really soft pink, but it is very pretty. And that bronze has a bit of a shimmer to it. You can almost see the metallicness of it. Get off my finger! And the bottom three. Which you can tell have a lot more pigment. And this one has kind of almost like a lavender shift to it. This one has a more blue shift. And then this is more matte. And it is more of an off black with maybe a slight olive undertone. It's really pretty. So if you're looking for something for a nice, crease and outer corner color for some good depth, but you don't want to go straight up black, that would probably be a good one right there. Next one is called Playful. And I've already cheated, as you can tell, and took all these out of the packaging. You've got your kind of corals right here, and then these are all pinks, even though this one looks more purple. But it is more of a pinky color, so it's more of a mauve. But you've got a highlight color. These would be good for lids. These would be good for the lid. And then maybe this one for the outer corner. And just because these highlight shades don't really show up very well on the back of my hand, I'll show you that on the tip of my finger. And this is almost like a warmer shade of Marzipan. Like I said, I've come across a lot that look like Marzipan lately. There's those three, but again, you can't really see the highlight. But they're very pretty colors. And apparently I'm not cleaning off that finger very well first go around. Now we'll pick up those 3 pinks on the bottom. And that mauve shade is really pretty. It's got a pink flash, as you can see. But they're very pretty. And it's more of a warm tone, but it's got the cool tone shimmer. Well, the other pinks are very cool toned, straight up. Next one, we're getting up my alley. And this one is called Fling. This one is just all vibrant colors, blues and purples. You've got kind of like a mint green, you've got a turquoise, more of a cobalt blue. This one's kind of a slate blue, a nice little purple, and this one is actually a bit more pink than it looks on my camera. On my camera, it looks really purpley, like a reddish purple. And there's those 3. Very pretty. They could easily be built up, it seems like. Or if you just wanted a subtle pop of color, that's fine too. These bottom 3, they definitely make me think of my nieces. Their favorite colors between the 2 of them are pink, purple, and blue. So if my nieces were to see those, they would go absolutely ape. There you go. And those have some really decent shimmer to them. But they're also very, very pretty. But they all have that, you know, cool toned shift, which is really pretty. Next, we have Almost Nude, which in essence is exactly what it says. Almost nude shades. Of course, this one, you know, is more of a pink, but it's a slightly warm pink. Another one similar to Mars Paneling, maybe just a bit more beige. Oh, sorry about that. And then you've got kind of a light gold, antique gold down here. This one almost looks like it's got a slight lavender hue on my camera, but it's a little bit more pink. And then this one here kind of makes me think of Salted Caramel from the Chocolate Bar palette. And there are those 3, very, very subtle. Over a base, they might pop a little bit more, but not much. And then we will swatch the bottom row. There you go. This one is very warm toned. It's almost orangey. This one is very subdued. You can barely even see it. And then you got this one here, which is very brassy, but it's a pretty color. But it does remind me of brass. And then last one is called Lucky, and it's just shades of green, which which this I think would probably be perfect for St. Patrick's Day, being that it's got all these different greens and these dark golds, bronze, whatever. Swatch this top row. These up here. Got that ivory shade, you've got kind of a emerald green, then you have kind of a peridot green. The emerald and peridot green, they really show up, but that one make a good highlight because it's very subtle. But this one almost reminds me of the one that I got from Cargo. Only it's, you know, got that more greenish shift instead of the gold, like the one from Cargo had. And the bottom row. And there you have those. This one is almost a borderline teal, but it is very pretty. Then you've got that kind of brassy bronze. And this, again, is kind of like an off black, but it's slightly more brown versus that other off black. But they're really pretty colors. Some of these, you know, are a lot higher pigmentation than others, but I would imagine they could be built up fairly well. However, you know, the little highlight colors, as I'll classify them, in these upper left-hand corners, those are pretty much just going to stay as a straight-up highlight or an inner corner highlight. But all of these are actually really pretty. They go on super smooth. They're not at all crumbly, which is always a good thing because you don't want to sit there and waste a lot of eyeshadow. But anyway, that sums it up for this video. I'm going to go toss my tennis shoes into the freaking washing machine. See if I have, well, first I got to take my skirt out from yesterday. See if I need to hand scrub the hem. So, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.